Hey guys, it's Angela with Word and Home. Happy Thursday. Come on in, everybody. Hope everyone's has had a good week. I am glad to be back with you this Thursday. I missed you last week. So come on in and say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. If you don't see the red light button, then you're catching the replay. So put hashtag replay in the comments and ask any questions that you have. Just drop those right down below and we'll try to answer those as quickly as we can. But come on in and we will get started in just a minute. Okay, I've got my comments pulled up. We are doing a little thrift store makeover today. Even though it's been over 100 degrees here where I am, it's been so hot, I'm kind of in a fall frame of mind. So I was at I don't know if you really call it a thrift store, kind of a thrift store. They have booths and they have all kinds of stuff you can buy. And I picked this guy up. He's a jack-o'-lantern, if you can see his little face cut out. He's pretty tall. And so, hey Rhea, happy Friday, friend. I thought he would look good on my front porch. So, because I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do out there for fall. And so we're just going to give him just a little makeover. We're going to give him a little bit of orange color back and maybe some rust, a little bit of a rust technique. So he's what we're working on today. So come on in and say hello and we will get started in just a second. It's pretty heavy and there's nothing on the bottom, so I don't know what brand or anything. He does have on the inside, hi Dawn, where you can put a candle, you can set a candle down on it to hold it. So he is meant to have a candle, and I'll be adding a candle to him. Hi Diane, thank you for sprinkling. I'll probably use like this little battery operated, because he'll be out on the porch, and so I'll have to use one with a timer. He is cute. He is cute, Rhea. You can leave him how if you wanted to, you could leave him how he is. But you know me, I can't ever leave anything alone. And I like rust. I like a little rusty look. So I'm thinking the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put some orange paint on him. And then we're going to darken him up, just kind of like so he looks layered. And then maybe some rust, so he looks actually, like he's really old and rusty. And I think instead of this one, I think I'll use my Waverly chalk paint in pumpkin. I think this is the one. Thank you for sprinkling, Rhea. You guys are awesome. So you guys tell me as I paint him, I'm just going to put a coat of orange paint on him. And I don't even mind if some of this is brown. It may look black to you, but it's really a dark shade of brown. And so if some of that pops through, even better. Oh, yay, Leanne. I'm glad you got rain. We had rain this morning. So I'm going to talk while I do this, but you guys know the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to add an orange coat of paint. We had rain this morning, and one of my dogs, as she's gotten older, she's not a fan of thunder. It used to never bother her, but as she's gotten older, it scares her. So she was on, I guess my husband said before he got up, she was on his head. And then after he got up, because he gets up earlier than I do, she decided to get on my head. And so that's what let me know. And so then of course I heard the thunder and we got some rain. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was enough, to give the grass and our plants a little drink. So I was very thankful for that little bit of rain, because yes, we are so dry. Okay, I got this off of here. You can use acrylic paint for this too. But I like the chalk paint. Hi, Connie. Hi, Lori. Thank you for sprinkling, Connie. I know the thunder never sounded so good, did it, Leanne? Unlike my dog, I'm going to pour a little bit of this out here. I sleep so well when it's thundering. Anybody else like that? It does not, I'm not really scared of storms. Obviously, tornadoes I don't like. if it's severe. But if it's just a thunderstorm with just the thunder, oh my gosh, I sleep like a baby. I love it. I'm doing great, Lori. I am doing great. I hope you're doing well. So I have a bigger paintbrush here because I thought, I need something bigger. This is a big surface. So we're going to try this, and we're going to see how it dries down. Okay. So we're just going to kind of get coverage like this. I'm not, like I just said, if some of that brown peeks through, even better. I'm not hating that. So, and this is not a flat surface, so it'll work nicely. Just try not to get it on my clothing. And if you don't like the orange, you could do this white if you wanted to add different color to it. The white ones are pretty too. You could do, make it look pretty like terracotta. I actually have a terracotta paint color. And so I almost did terracotta. But then I thought, no, I want it to look more traditional. I want it to be orange. So we're going to give it a try and do the orange. Okay, so we're just trying to do smooth strokes. I don't want to see, trying not to see those lead lines in it, but, and I want to leave the handle. I don't want to paint the handle, so I'm going to try to, okay, so I'm going to dry this down, and then we'll go and we'll do the other side. And this is just kind of we're going to see how this turns out. I think I'll sand it a little bit even after I get it on here. So we're just going to play with it and see what we can do. Hi, Cindy. I'm great. How are you? Angie, I found this just at a little, one of those little antique stores here in town where they have the shops and everybody puts their stuff. So, but I will tell you, I see stuff like this at my Goodwill in different thrift stores quite often. So, keep your eye out because you might be able to find it. Thank you. Angie, I had to put my pumpkin top on, even though it's like, 100 degrees outside. Actually, it's not 100 today. We're having a cool spell. It's not quite 100. So it's just like a high of 99 expected. I think we're going to get to like 98 or something today. But I had to put my pumpkin shirt on because I was doing a fall project. And I'm just trying to imagine a little bit cooler weather. Good, Cindy. Cindy's not far from me, so maybe hopefully, are you enjoying a little bit cooler weather, Cindy? I say cooler, but it's still dang hot out there. But I gotta be thankful for everything, right? And it's not 100 degrees out there, so I'm gonna be thankful. Good. I'm glad you caught me live. And I was out. Yeah, last week I was out. Can't keep up. Okay, so let's do some more of this. And you guys know what I say. If we do it and I'm like, not liking it, I'll just paint over it. Right? I mean, that's the beauty of paint. Don't be scared to buy something that can be painted. I saw somebody else, my friend Stephanie over at the Vintage Pebble. She just did, I think it's it was a candlestick, I think. And she just painted it, and it looks so good. She painted it for fall, and she thrifted it. So if you see something You know, just, you know, think about that. Don't think, oh, I don't like, you know, that color. Think, I could paint that and I could make that the color that I want. Okay, I'm going to have a little bit more paint. And spray paint, I love spray paint too. Obviously, I couldn't spray paint this, you know, because we're doing it live, but you could, if you wanted to do it a cream color, you could just spray paint this sucker. Or I don't know about terracotta because I've not seen a good terracotta color spray paint, but you know, if you can find the right color of spray paint, it does make it a little bit easier. But this way, brushing the paint on, I can add some darker spots, and then I can leave some lighter. You know, so it looks like it's, you know, really old, like it's really weathered. Okay. Okay, so we've got that. I may need to, I'm probably going to have to do 2 coats because you know how these paint brushes are. You have to do more than 1 coat, or you can see the brush strokes. But I already like the way that the paint looks just being brushed on here. And it's not going to be this stark orange because I am going to darken it. Okay, so that's what we've got. We've still got to do a space. So let's darken the back up a little bit. I am too, Cindy. I know it is still hot. It's ridiculous. It's hot. Yeah, Rhea. Hi, Tanya. I like this color too. I like this color of orange, and this is the Waverly, so it's pumpkin. You can still get it. I'm just, you know, I like summertime, but I'm about at my max, like everybody else is. It is just brutal. It has been so brutal. The first 70-degree day we have, I'm going to be putting all my pumpkins out, I think. I am so ready. And we still, I mean, we're at the 21st, so we're coming towards the end of August. But, I mean, here in Oklahoma, September can be warm. You know, you just never know. We can still have warm temps through September, sometimes into October. But the evenings will start getting cooler, and it'll be nice. If my flowers didn't have to die, I would be, you know, saying more excited about fall, but that's always hard for me to say goodbye to my flowers. Okay. Everybody else is like, I don't care, it's so hot, whatever. Although everything's dying anyway because of the heat, so, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's just get his face. I'm hoping I can find a taller battery-operated candle. Do you know, because Dollar Tree, they're all shorter. Maybe I could get on Amazon and find one a little bit taller for this. Has anybody got any tips for that? And have you bought like a really tall, because he's tall, so if I could find one even tall, you know, as tall as possible. Okay. So we've got his color on here. I'm gonna look. Okay, I think I kind of like that. I see like one little area right here that's a little uneven. Let me kind of even this out. So we've got some orange on there. So we're gonna dry him down. Michael's used to, okay, Rhea, I'll check that out. Oh, Angie, fairy lights would be good. Just put some that's a good idea. Sometimes, Angie, Oklahoma is just, I don't know how to explain Oklahoma. Our weather is just crazy. And I know everybody says that, but, you know, you just never know about winter. We have not had in my opinion, we have not had a hard winter in several years. But that could change. We're due. We're due for you know, and when I say a hard winter, I mean snow, because we don't get a lot of snow. And below freezing temps, it gets cold, but it doesn't typically stay, you know, like negative temperatures cold here. So it's just always a toss-up. But I feel like we're due for a hard winter so soon. Okay, and I like fall too, Cindy, like you said, but unfortunately, another thing about, I feel like we don't get long falls and spring. I feel like it's here, we're usually one extreme or the other. It's either really hot or cold. If we had longer falls, and I would love it. Love it, love it. And when I say longer, I mean more than a week or two. Okay, I'm just putting a little bit more orange on his face. And I've not had an earthquake that I could feel in a while. But, you know, we do have earthquakes sometimes. But those seem to be less, at least where I am. I haven't felt one in quite a while. And they're small. They're not, you know, make buildings fall down, earthquakes or anything. We got it all. Tornadoes, earthquakes, extreme heat. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave him like that. Okay, let's add a little bit more heat. And then I just have a little bit of paint up here that's kind of gathered. Let me get that off there. Cindy said yes. We do. Oh, good, Rhea. I'm glad you had one. Had a good spring. Yeah, Dawn, I don't know. I ordered this one off of Amazon. This was one for my daughter's wedding. And we ordered these. They came in a kit. This was the tallest, and they were staggered in height. So I'm going to get on Amazon and maybe see if I can find a taller one. Or I like the fairy lights idea too. I didn't think about that. And they have a timer. I don't want to, you know, I just want something that I can put on a timer so I don't have to, you know, worry about it using all the batteries up, and I have to constantly be turning it off and on. Okay, now let me grab my gator, my sander. It's right over here. And then we'll just sand this down just a smidge. It seems like a lot of steps, but I think it'll be worth it to try to get that look that I'm going for. I'm just going to kind of run this. I mean, not heavy, because it will take off a lot. Sorry if that's loud. Okay. So I'm just kind of hitting those raised spots a little bit. Okay. So I'm not doing a whole lot. And then I have some of this wax. And I thought, we'll just put some of that on there. Oh, you have, Rhea? Yeah, I know, Angie. I can't go anything without a timer now. All my Christmas lights, everything has to have a timer. And yes, and I still feel like, even with the timer, I still feel like I'm using battery, you know, all the time. Okay. So I'm going to darken this so it's not quite as bright orange. And you can use, you know, as little or as much as you want on this. And I have some, I'm trying to remember, I think I have some of the black pumpkins. Walmart has some of the black pumpkins. You can get those on Amazon too. I like all things pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns. And last year, I did not get all my pumpkins out. This year, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get on it early and get those out. Because I have so many. I love pumpkins. How about you guys? Yes, I love to see the twinkle of the lights too. My Mr. Worden Home, actually, I need to take a picture and share it in my stories. He just put, he ordered me some new solar lights, and he put them in our backyard, and he's, whoop, got that spot a little heavy, and he's putting them up for me, so I'll have more lights, solar lights in that kind of drape and hang in my backyard, because he knows I love those lights so much. Okay, let's do a little bit more up here. Twinkle lights get my attention every time. Okay, so let's see, I probably need to add a few more dark spots, but we're just going to keep adding that wax, just going to keep adding that, you know, wherever you want to dark, whatever spots you want to darken up, just put your wax on there. I have a spray sealant that I use, and you can use Rust-Oleum, you can use the Plaid brand. There's all kinds of different, you know, of a spray sealant that you can use. Just make sure, you know, of course, that you use it in a well-ventilated area. And that'll keep my finish, you know, this finish on here nice, and it won't come off. And then since this will be out on my front porch, it will be in the elements. So it'll get rain and things, you know, on it. And that spray finish will help seal it up and protect it a little bit more. Okay. Darken that. Okay. So there's kind of our orange. So he's orange, but he's not, I think he's a little more subdued with the wax. Now, I want to add some rust. And you know, this part can be skipped if you want to. But I just think it just adds so much character when you add the rust on there. Yes, Angie, that's a good idea. Yeah, you could turn the face around. And And if next year I don't like this color, I can sand it off. I may not even have to sand it off, but I could spray paint it a different color if I wanted to. Because it's spray paint, you know, paint. Okay, let me get a little bit of this paint off of here. I don't know if this will fit down in here. Try. Okay. In my cup of water, it's a little bit small. Yes, I think that makes his face, I agree, Rhea. When you lighten him up, it makes the face pop more. And we'll add, I'm thinking some rust on his face and or maybe around the top of this. And I'm just doing, you know, the faux rust. I mean, I have been wanting to try that kit from Hobby Lobby, the rusting kit. I've never tried it, and I think I need to try it, but for this one, we're just going to use the cinnamon. I'm sorry I keep banging that. And the Mod Podge. Has anybody used that rust kit? You know what I'm talking about? Hobby Lobby, they have, and I don't remember the maker of it, but you have to do it outside. But you spray and you use different products from the kit to make it rust. Okay. Let's just kind of start at the top right here. Just going to kind of pull this down a little bit. And then it's pretty simple. You're just going to use your cinnamon. I buy Dollar Tree cinnamon for this. Works great. Go back and dip my paintbrush in that cinnamon, and then I'm just going to go over here and add it to that Mod Podge. Okay, and then I usually do make a mess. I'm going to try not to put the cinnamon in the Mod Podge, so I'm going to pour the Mod Podge on my plate right here, so maybe I don't get it all down in my... Okay, and then you just keep adding, you know, Mod Podge cinnamon, until you get kind of the look that you want there. And then you can darken it up, and as it dries down, it will darken. And when you spray your sealant on there, that really helps hold all of this in place too. Hi, Nancy. You've never used the rust kit, Cindy? Yeah, it does. I'm sure it doesn't smell as good as the cinnamon. You're right. This has just always been my go-to, and I have this, you know, I have the cinnamon, and I have it in my stash, so I don't know. I just never think about doing anything else. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing over here. The only bad thing is your paintbrush does get goopy, you know, eventually, so you're gonna have to clean it out, because you get a buildup of the cinnamon and the Mod Podge on there. Okay. And so usually I just will take a paper towel, get as much of it off there as I can, and then, okay. Now let's maybe put some on his face, just a little bit. I don't know how much I want to do. Put that lightly on there. And then just use our cinnamon. And the cinnamon does, if you like cinnamon, I love cinnamon, so it smells great. Okay. Okay, and we're just going to keep dabbing. You can sprinkle your cinnamon on here too. You know, sometimes with smaller projects, I do that, but he's kind of big, so it kind of makes it, you know, a little harder to do that. Okay, put that on there. Okay, so you can see the rust on his face. It's really hard to see until it starts to dry down, but you can see it on the top there. And we'll just keep working on it. I've lost my comments. Cinnamon scents are your favorite. I like them. I have to be careful because we'll put some down here on the bottom and around his mouth. Because sometimes, like, some of the cinnamon that you can burn, like in your Scentsy and stuff, some of that is so strong that does irritate my my nose and burns. Some of it's too strong, so this is not, but I don't know what they put in some of the stuff, you know, like the Scentsy and the candles and stuff, but I have to be careful with that because that will burn my eyes sometimes. Okay. And when you'll get this on here, and then you set it out to dry, and then I have noticed that when you put your when you spray it with the sealant, it really makes the cinnamon color darken and makes it really pop. So I'll just throw that out there. If you add your cinnamon and you're like, I don't, you know, it's not enough, just remember if you're going to seal it, that'll darken it. That'll darken it up some. Okay. Let's put a little bit more over here. Okay. We'll look at them. We'll probably need maybe a little bit more on the side. Maybe a little bit more up on his face too. We'll put a little bit up here. Just totally, this is kind of fun. It's fun and just kind of, I think the word is cathartic. It just is relaxing to me to do this, kind of like painting. What else have you seen used besides cinnamon? I think I was reading earlier, somebody said they used like cocoa, like you know, dark cocoa for this, but I never thought about that. Because that would give you a darker color, I guess. Okay, let's do just a little bit more of our Mod Podge right here. No, Diane, they are not. I was just thinking about the wood about the wood sunflowers, but they are coming. I will work on those this weekend, and I will get a kit in there. I will get a kit. I just thought about that. Thought I need to get those because those are perfect for fall crafting to add to all your little projects. Okay, and the more you add, you know, it's kind of gets a little bumpier and kind of looks like real rust. That was a little too much though, so I had to take a little bit of that off there. Okay. Okay. So he's coming along. So So he's going to have a nice little rusty face when that dries down. We'll put just a little bit more around the edges, I think. A little bit more, and then he won't need a whole lot more, I don't think. Okay, thank you for reminding me, because you know, sometimes I forget. I do. I do all the wax burners. Oh, okay, Cindy, yeah. So do you simmer? Oh, nutmeg. Good, Rhea, that makes sense. Nutmeg would be good. I need to get some of that for in here so I could try the nutmeg. Cindy, do you simmer? Do you do a simmer pot on your stove? I've tried that before too. But I've told you guys my candle stories, right? I can't do candles because I tend to get distracted and then leave. And then I come back home, or Mr. Worden home, he's like, how long's that candle been burning? I don't know. And leaving them unattended, you know, when I leave the house. So that's why I like the little Scentsies and things like that are better for me, because I can be absent-minded when I, you know, get too many things on my mind. I don't want to burn my house down. Okay. Let's put just a little bit more down here on this side of his mouth. And then, like I said, you can add it. You could add it all the way around if you wanted to. I don't think I'm going to go all the way around him. But it's totally up to you and how much rest you want. I love that nutmeg idea. I'm going to, the next time I run into Dollar Tree, I'm going to see if they carry nutmeg, and I'll grab some of that. Okay, just a little bit more. Here. And because I use this cinnamon only for my crafting, when I get done, I have some, you know, left on this plate. I'll just dump it right back into the container. Okay, so there he is. He's got his little rusty face. I'll add a little bit of heat to his face and see if we can dry some of this down just a little bit. And see if it makes that rust, you know, just a little more visible. Oh no, Rhea, that scares me too. You get lightheaded. Okay, you simmer it, yeah. And you can buy those candle, the little lamps. I have some of those. And so, you put your candle under there. And you might be talking about that too, Cindy. And so that way, if you leave it, it's supposed to be the same thing as just leaving a lamp on. So, and there's not an open flame per se, so those made me feel a little bit better. Okay. Okay. So, look at his rust. He's looking rusty. I love that. See his rust there. And then when we put our little candle in there, I'll just show you. It's kind of hard. It's got the little thing that sticks up, so it's kind of hard. It won't set flat, but it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. Let me turn this light off. That helps a little bit. You can see how he's all lit up in there. I think he's cute. I love that. I like the rusty look. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys, you know, look in your thrift stores, at your Goodwill. Right now, Goodwill has, you know, they're going to have all of their fall stuff out, you know, front and center. But I have a local thrift store, and she carries, you know, she has secondhand stuff like this. And people get, you know, we don't have room. None of us do. I speak for myself too. But we don't have room to keep everything. So people donate this stuff and get rid of it all the time. So I would just encourage you, if you like to, you know, to do this yourself, be sure to check the secondhand stores and you know, give it the look that you want. Thank you guys. My son's. Oh yeah, Rhea. I don't know. I don't think mine has a timer on it, but a timer on that would be good too. It would be. Thanks, Diane. And I can't wait. Like I said, I'm gonna put a little light in there, and then I'm gonna set it outside with all my pumpkins. I don't know how I'm going to display them, but they're all gonna go out there. Thank you guys for the hearts. Thank you. And you could add rust to the back, but I mean, nobody sees the back, so I probably won't add any more rust. I'll probably just do that. Thank you guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Did you also, let me show you this before I get off here. I always try to share with you my finds that I get that I think are good deals. So, and I shared this in my stories, but just in case you didn't see it, if you have a pop shelf, and I talk about pop shelf a lot, these were $5, okay? And aren't these the prettiest fall colors? I think I'm going to stack the blue ones on top of these. It's kind of a taupe colored stripe. I think I'm going to stack these on top. And then I have 2 wreaths on my barn doors as you come in my front door. I think I'm going to put these on my wreaths. So if you have a pop shelf, thank you for sprinkling, Angie. Check these out. $5, you guys. I thought that was a good deal, and they're nice quality. If there were 2 orange, I would use those, but you only got 1 orange and 1 green, so I'll have to use those somewhere else. But these are going to be really pretty in my fall decor. Pop Shelf is owned by Dollar General, and so just Google Pop Shelf, and you might be surprised because you might have one. You might have one in your area. I am too, Cindy. Thank you for hopping on with me. Oh, dang it, Rhea. You don't... Well, keep checking, Rhea, because I think they are growing, and I think they are spreading across the country. So keep your eye out. They have... You don't have one either, Angie. They probably just haven't made it that far north, but hopefully they will, because they have the prettiest home decor, and it's pretty budget friendly, I feel like. So I just love that store. I don't have one in my town, but I have one in Tulsa, so it's not that far, just a short drive. So I always try to pop in there. Okay, guys, thanks for hopping on with me. I hope you were inspired to look for some thrift store finds and to kind of add your own touch for fall. And I appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit. Everybody have a great weekend and stay safe, and I will see you again soon. Bye, guys.